it was for pre-law. So, but my mom knew who he was. And I remember telling her that I had a date with Billy Collins. And I remember her saying, the Poet Laureate? And I said, yeah, I guess so. And I told her I was going to have dinner with him at a supper club on Palm Beach Island. And it was at the Colony House where he lived. And that this is how they were selling me to him. So Lisa was telling me that he is looking for a muse and that he's a poet and that he's older and a little more subdued and that he has like she said at the time that he had a $2 million condo at the Colony House on Palm Beach Island and that he was looking for a relationship and that he wanted someone my age. Again, I was 23 at the time. So just out of morbid curiosity, I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta see what this is. And so I tell my mom, just in case I go missing, I tell my mom about the party. She knows about the party, and then she knows about Lisa. They've met Lisa. My family referred to her as Loony Lisa. My older brother met her. He did some work on her computer, and her father called accusing my brother of bugging her computer. Lisa would tell me that there were cameras all over the house and that her brothers were rapists and not to go into certain bathrooms because there's cameras in there too. And she was saying that there's cameras everywhere. So basically describing a compound. So I just didn't know what to believe. Mm-hmm. So she tells me about this Poet Laureate guy and I tell my mom about it and I agree to go. And I go and meet him on Palm Beach Island at the Colony House. And at first I thought it was maybe a senior home, just the way it felt that like you live on property, there was a pool, then you like eat by the pool and there's like servers and stuff. So I thought it was a retirement community. I didn't realize like JFK had a place there. Prince Andrew stayed there, like that it's a network place that's long been standing there. And so we have dinner and we're sitting at dinner and he had a straw hat on, which I found like interesting as just a way to remember who he was. Because if you look him up, he's even written about the straw hat and he wears them a lot. Mm-hmm. So that was a big confirmation to me that it was the same guy when I was finally going to report and trying to remember all these names. Because for many years, I didn't know what his name was. I just knew he was a Poet Laureate. And again, didn't know what was going on at the time. I didn't realize that they were per years, basically, or per terms. And so it gave me an ability to narrow it down and get a name. So I was able to figure out the name a couple of years ago to go report. And like I said, I remembered the straw hat. He wrote about the straw hat. I found pictures of him in the straw hat. So all of that was confirmation that it was the same man that I had dinner with. And that it was exactly what he was offering me. He said, again, he was looking for a muse. And he asked if I had any problem with his age. And I asked, do you have a problem with my age? And he said, no. I asked him if he had any kids. And he said no. And I was really relieved that he didn't have kids. And I just kind of acted like I was in on it or gonna go through with it just to smooth over the situation and get out. I had learned a lot from going on auditions and meeting so many predators that you kind of have to finagle your way out safely when red flags start going off. So he's telling me that he wants me to live at the Colony House with him, that I could perform there, that there's a cabaret downstairs. So he's painting this whole picture of all of this. And I, take it in stride.